You know, I read the book Simon versus the Homo Sapiens Agenda by Becky Albertelli, and like I loved it. I fell in love with it, and it felt so truthful yet so lighthearted, but dealt with serious issues in a way that was relatable. And you know, I think even more so after reading it, I was like, okay, we've got to make this, and we've got to do it well. And I was so psyched to be able to be a part of it and to be Leah. I think it's such an endearing story, but it's also done so in a way where it feels truthful and real, and it actually kind of made me think about my own high school experiences. And you know, personally, I'm actually such a huge fan of the book. I actually, after reading it, I Instagrammed Becky Albertelli and totally like fangirled and was just like, I love your book, I'm in your movie, I'm sorry, I'll leave now. But I think the reason maybe why I loved it so much is, you know, a lot of the reasons why I like it, also maybe some of the reasons why a lot of other people like it, whereas it just feels like it respects the intellect of its audience. It doesn't feel like cheesy or unrealistic, and it's just a really beautiful story about love. We don't see like gay teenage characters. We don't see those coming of age stories of people who are bi or people who are pansexual or transgender. They're not represented in our media, and therefore we don't know a lot about it, and therefore it feels weird to be that. And I think it takes a lot of strength and a lot of courage to come out. And I hope that this film can kind of help normalize the fact that being gay is normal and fine and not weird and natural. And yeah, I play Leah Burke, so I play Simon's best friend. And Leah's very, I want to say, interesting. She and Simon have known each other for 13 years. You know, they've been best friends for, you know, since they were in kindergarten. And I think Leah, I feel like Leah, she comes off as a little bit snarky and witty and has quite a hard shell, but on the inside, she's very insecure and quite fragile. And I think what Leah struggles with is all of these people growing up around her, particularly, you know, when we see Abby come into the equation. She's comfortable with Nick and Simon because she's known them for so long, but when Abby comes in, Abby is so much more into that world of like parties and growing up and doing things, and I think that makes Leah even more uncomfortable, which probably brings out an even more viperish kind of vibe in her. He's so intelligent and wise, and I think he's really taking kind of he's taking such a heartfelt approach to this, which I think is so important. Yeah, and he's working so closely with Greg, and he's such a wonderful actor to work with as well, because he's so generous and he really listens, which I find so admirable in an actor. And he knows what he wants in a scene. And yeah, I've enjoyed immensely working with him because it's just so fun. But you have such a great time as an actor working with him because you just feel like you get such great work done. It does have that potential to inspire people to kind of be true to themselves. And it does highlight the importance, I feel, of integrity and of courage and bravery. I think being courageous and being brave is very important, not just for yourself and everyday life, but you know, particularly now, it's so important to be informed and be aware and to be assertive. And it's also important, I feel, when you're with a group of people, because we need to look out for each other. You know, it sounds cliche, but like, you know, all the voices kind of, it makes a difference. You know, if one person stands up and says something, a lot of other people will probably follow, but it just takes that one person to stand up for the rest to follow. I feel like it's something that we haven't seen before necessarily on mainstream films. And it's also going to bring a lot of joy, a lot of love, and I feel a little bit of a lesson.